hello. Let's read on Justice Kavanaugh. But all of these people in Trump world, they just feel so smug. They just feel so, of course we're winning. They believe they're chosen by God. Kavanaugh. He's looking at all the work, the cases that are coming up at the Supreme Court, and he's going to have to catch up. He was extremely worried he wouldn't get onto the Supreme Court. His wife was very supportive of him, but Dr. Blasey Ford got people and women to look very differently at him. The base of the reading, this is his big emotional outburst. His emotions getting the better of him. What goes around comes around. This is the moneyed interests. This is also, I don't know if he actually has a gambling problem, but this feels like people, the people he owed money to. Like the money lenders and the trouble he got into. There was a $200,000 debt of his that suddenly disappeared, is what I read. People were saying it might be from a gambling problem or a gambling debt that somebody paid off that he would now be beholden to. Don't know, but that's what I read. He just wants to enjoy his victory and be Mr. Entitled with his, surrounded by his gold and success and with a hawk on his hand. But there's a lot roiling in the background. Not only protesters, people in government who are against him, but also his own internal anger. I don't think it's a big surprise or shock or a stretch to see that he's got some very uncontrollable emotions in there. You might say he has some anger issues, especially when he's been drinking. Near future. This is just work. I'm going to turn over these other cards and see what I got. Home environment, this is fate. This is a big deal. Hopes and fears. He's hoping he can just be a good justice and settle disputes, and other people see a crusader pushing his own agenda, pushing his own beliefs. Final outcome. This actually feels like him not being very good to refugees. I don't want to jump the gun. In general, I'm trying to be more careful about the energy, but that really, it feels like him eventually having to leave. And that's what's coming to mind, having to leave. This is the current victory. This is the government. This feels like the Democrats reopening investigations against him. And perhaps at first, this victory card, I'm trying to figure out whose victory it is. All right, I've really been feeling the energy. This feels like the Democratic wins in the government. But this doesn't feel like this doesn't feel like final outcome, but this is them reopening investigations against him. Will those investigations come to anything? Will he stay on the Supreme Court? Will he be forced to leave? Look at Justice Roberts jumping into my head, in my thoughts. He's not happy. He's really not happy. He really feels like this is a blot on the reputation of the Supreme Court. and he's all about the reputation of the Supreme Court. He's not happy. This feels like when things are reopened against him, there are going to be multiple areas of inquiry. Money that was used to pay off his debts, how he has treated women, the vile way he has treated women, his far too much coziness with Trump, people who have worked the super PACs or, political action committees, PACs, who have run Kavanaugh ads, machinations, the stunts McConnell pulled in the Senate. There's a lot. There's a lot. This is information. It's kind of cutting the Gordian knot. And his horrendous actions with women, that's bad, but what could really nail him is money. Money's coming up. Gambling addiction, debt, or something along those lines. Money he's been given, and he's beholden. And he's got big secrets. It's hard to believe anything would matter, though. I keep getting this and some of the other cards. I kept getting a feeling of when Mueller moves against Trump, investigators move against Trump and start looking at dodgy finances, that this is going to directly relate. Somehow, I really feel in this energy, and that feels like Kavanaugh. But it's on a smaller scale than Trump. This is the final outcome I get often with Trump. That there is going to be a point at which you put enough swords in a monster and it will bring the monster down. Well, there are enough issues. It's the same thing, only on a smaller scale. And what I'm getting in my head is, and that will be the end of his judicial career. Well, take it for what it's worth. I have never said, I've actually purposefully said, I am not omniscient. I'm reading the energy. And this is what the energy is saying. That ultimately, things are not going to end well for him. All right. Thank you for watching.